I'm gonna get back when I feel like, when I feel like, when I feel like, when I feel get back when I feel like.
Peter, wonderful to have you on the studio. Thank you for coming. Just like to know, what are some of your first memories of cricket?
My first memories of cricket, probably being around my dad, I guess, and my brother, and two brothers, but one was probably more into sport, playing in the back garden. Very good on drive because the greenhouse was at mid-off, so I tended to hit probably more leg side and straight drive. So they're probably my fond memories of cricket, and following my dad ran the cricket in Allied Irish Banks. So following him around and even getting the odd game on his Taverners team. And then primary school, we had a cricket team and sort of loved that. And then getting into club cricket with Leinster Cricket Club. So I've so many fond memories probably. But I think the first ones are probably the battle me and my brother used to have in the garden and smashing a few greenhouse windows and scarpering. Yeah.
That was with a tennis ball?
No, we'd play hardball, yeah. So we'd fully kit up. And yeah, he'd bowl some left arm spin and I'd bat away and then I'd try and bounce him out. There was a bit of a ridge on a length, so yeah, balls over the neighbours' walls, things like that. So fantastic. Yeah, Mum wasn't too happy about it. But
And was your dad playing for Leinster Cricket Club as well?
No, he was YMCA when he was younger, and then when he worked in the bank, he just played for them and organised their tours and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
right. And that was red ball, white clothing cricket.
That would have been white clothing, yeah, when I was growing up, and red ball, yeah. I remember taking a hat trick actually at under 13s for Leinster Cricket Club, and that was probably one of the highlights when I was that age. So
well done. And then with your school, is school cricket?
School cricket in Ireland isn't so big. There is school cricket, but the terms are very short, and the weather can also play havoc in sort of April and May, early season, and then the schools are all done by sort of June. But there is schools cricket, and yeah, played all through my high school. Some nice little tours to Cork and things like that as well. So yeah, no, it does play a part in Irish cricket.
And I know you've done a lot of travelling. You were playing cricket abroad as well?
Yeah, so went to Durham University and studied sports science and coaching there. But the main reason was the cricket. So I was on the Centre of Excellence there for 3 years. Actually got injured in my last season. It was our first class season, and I got a stress fracture just before we were going to play Durham County in a first class game at Chesley Street. So that was kind of devastating. Went to Australia that next winter, played with Randwick Petersham, and while I was out there, the batting was going nicely. I wasn't able to bowl, but then I broke my jaw out there quite badly. So it was sort of back-to-back injuries. Through being at the university and the course I was on, and part of the Centre of Excellence, we had to do level 1 coaching in first year and level 2 in second year. I'd done a bit of coaching as well in my gap year, and you know, I suppose there was a bit of a realisation with those back-to-back injuries that, you know, and maybe I wasn't good enough anyway, but it was going to be sort of like I got to Irish Development 11 level, but quickly got into the coaching, did level 3, got on level 4 very early on with guys like Mark Ramprakash, Andy Flower. I was probably one of the youngest, I suppose, to go through the cohort, and that was pretty amazing. And then 2005 I coached the Irish women's team, so I coached them for a few years, took them to a World Cup in South Africa. 2007, 6-7, Aidy Birrell, the national coach, took me on as a performance analyst, and obviously that was pretty incredible, that World Cup. And then when Phil Simmons came in as head coach, he took me on as analyst and assistant coach, so it was a pretty heavy workload. There were no slingers in those days either, so it was throwing balls, and then doing the analysis at night, sometimes all through the night, and then eventually became assistant coach with the Irish senior team and trained in another analyst, Scott Irvine, who's now our current analyst. And about maybe 6-7 years ago, kind of wanted to, I suppose, put my own mark on something and lead something, a new challenge. So took on the academy, and the under-19s and the Wolves, the A team. So it's been a busy few years, but a really rewarding few years as well. So
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a huge passion for coaching and
Yeah.
development.
Yeah.
When you're here and playing T10, have you got an analyst for your team right now, or are you acting as the analyst for your T10 cricket?
No, well, we've Albert van der Merwe here, who's a former player, and Albie is an umpire as well, and a coach, obviously a very good coach. But he's quite meticulous about sort of keeping the stats side of things, so I just let him work away at that, and just sort of keep an eye on things in general, and sort of managing players, and sort of working out our game plans with Albie and Sam, the skipper. Yeah.
What are your key data points you're looking at in T10 cricket?
Key data points. So we, obviously, I think sixes. I think it's a key performance indicator. The team that wins the most sixes, it's obviously a big factor. We try and target at least 2 boundaries in and over, and score off as many balls as we can as well, because that's also a part of it. Limiting extras, I think we've been quite costly these last few games. So I think it's interesting because you're probably hitting double the amount of sixes you are to fours as well. So that's a key part. But at the same time, you don't want to be looking for balls that aren't in your area. You need to be scoring off those balls and not maybe panicking and going for that. I think every ball's an event, so we talk about staying in the moment. The difference, a half chance in the field can make, or a combination catch on the boundary rope. So yeah, it just seems to, with white ball cricket, it just sort of hypes everything up. You have to think on your feet fast, and make those decisions quickly, back them, and I just think it's a brilliant format of the game for learning.
Yeah, well, you've got the Island 11 here with a development and academy team.
Yeah.
What's the average age of the players in the squad?
Yeah, so we've throughout these 2, unfortunately John McNally, who did very well for us in the last one, he's an under-19 cricketer. We've used 5 under-19 cricketers throughout these 2. He's our one change. So we've 4 here in the championship week. Our skipper is 28, Sam Harbinson, and outside of that it's from 16. Ollie Riley is 16, big seamer, very, very professional guy, but it's from 16 to 22 probably, and then Sam is a bit older for a bit of experience at 28.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to see, because these guys are coming here, they're so fresh, so hungry, they're very, very professional and good cricketers, good humans, really, really good people.
That's great.
The way they present themselves is, you should be very, very proud of that group. But what we'd love to see is if these guys are coming here as T10 cricketers and learning their game, learning their skills, then end up being test cricketers.
Yeah.
This is like a dream come true, for a pathway event, because the guys are under some serious pressure here.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and we have an under-19 World Cup coming up in January in Sri Lanka. So for those 5 under-19s that have played here, the exposure from the media, the way you guys run the tournament, it's every bit as good as I've been to several World Cups, and the way you guys do it is every bit as good. So as replicating that, and the broadcast production is excellent. So it's just invaluable, really.
No, thank you. We want to create heroes, because if we can create heroes, we've got little kids that are hopefully watching, and then want to replicate these young players. These guys are fantastic, the way they're taking it forward. And will you be going to Sri Lanka for the Young 19s World
so
Cup
I'll be
next year?
going with the 19s, took them with Albie to the last World Cup as well, so yeah.
And in the winter, you get the indoor facilities to continue the training?
Yeah, so we have a couple of indoor centres in the 3 main areas, I suppose, Dublin, Belfast and Derry. So they get used a lot. It's very cold, there's not much heating. It can be a sort of challenging time, but also a time when a lot of skill development work can be done. We also have an emerging tour to the West Indies in November, and then hopefully our A team will play in March. So it feels like it's going to be a really full-on busy winter and an amazing opportunity for the development of these players.
Yeah, and the women's team now is currently playing against Scotland, I think, these coming days. So club cricket for the women's side is growing and developing fast in Ireland as well?
It really is, yeah. I have to think about it, because my wife, that's where we met as well. She's from Leinster Cricket Club as well, and she went on to play for Ireland and was at a World Cup. And a lot of her good friends are kind of coming to the end of their careers now and retiring. But it has come on so much under Ed Joyce as head coach, and his coaching staff, support staff. They're really doing a professional job. I think that women's cricket in Northern Ireland has, expanded so much, which is brilliant. So that's really added to our talent pool. And now they're in Desert Springs, playing Scotland. And I think full-time contracts have obviously come in as well. And I've 2 daughters. Australia were over this summer, and for my girls to go there and see these Irish cricketers, doing this just like you spoke about, it's inspiring. Yeah.
So your wife is fully supportive of your daughters playing cricket, and obviously you are. So it must be a cricketing family through and through.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. Yeah, no, definitely. But we've an open mind, and we try and throw as many different sports and opportunities at them as we can.
Yeah, sure. No, it's important. If your friends are made and the family's supportive, then only good things will happen.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Now, Peter, thank you for all your time. Thank you for everything you brought here. The squad that you've brought last year and this year should be very, very proud. We love watching them. I know a lot of the ECN crew think you'll go all the way. And if it's not this year, it's pretty soon. But to see your cricketers, and see their careers evolve, and as Test cricketers in the future as well, we'll be very, very proud for our small little part to play to help.
I really, look, we really appreciate it, and I think sometimes, we can be unhappy with maybe our facilities and things like that back home in comparison to other Test nations, but you put it into context, and a lot of these countries don't have grass wickets, don't have the netting facility, and to see what you guys are doing for European cricket and the way these teams are coming on and getting more and more professional. And we're learning from teams like Germany and T10 who play a lot of T10. So it's a give and take, and it's absolutely fantastic. So thanks so much for everything you do, your story behind it. It's brilliant.
No, pleasure.
Before I go, so this is a little present from home for your boy.
Thank you.
I think we spoke about it before I left, but that's a hurl from home. It should fit him pretty well, and there's a slitter there, the ball. So yeah.
Fantastic, Peter. No, thanks so much. No, but my son loves hitting balls, that's for sure. Very much appreciate it.
It's a brilliant sport for hand-eye coordination and starter, and
So this is helping the boys with their skills for big hitting?
Yeah, so we bring a couple of hurls out. We have a very good hurler in the team, Matthew Weldon. So we can use it for hitting catches, softer cricket balls, the Incrediballs, replicating sweep shots, or we use it for some batting drills as well, snapping the wrist through the ball. So
fantastic. Yeah. No, super. It's the secret weapon.
Yeah.
For Irish cricket. No,
it could be.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks a million.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.